One of my favorite events of the year is coming up, and that is the Royal Rumble match. Well, now that we know the Royal Rumble is coming up, we have been speculating and rumors and dirt sheets, and everybody on the internet is talking about a women's Royal Rumble match. We're talking about a Divas Royal Rumble match. When you want to think of doing something new, you got to take a couple questions into consideration. And the first one being, do people want to see a Royal Rumble match from the women? Now, I did a poll on Twitter and I said, would you be interested in a women's Royal Rumble match? And 65% of the voters said yes, 35% no. This was 343 votes. And I posted it 12 hours ago. So there it is. That is the vote. Everybody is saying yes, they would like to see a Rumbles match. However, I do have some naysayers who. And somebody says, Cosmo02 says, I want to change my vote to no, because I just realized there are barely any women on each brand. So would it last like 5 minutes? Also, someone saying, no one would watch it. Talk about boring. So let's see what we want to talk about. Oh, yeah, there's not going to be any women in this. That's what he says. So let's talk about this. Are there going to be 30 women that are going to be in this Rumble? Now, I will say that they could potentially do 30 women. However, I do see 15 or 20 being a better fit for them. So let's talk about all the potential women that could be in this Rumble match. We know that Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks will not be in the Royal Rumble match unless Sasha and Charlotte trade the belt. One of them will end up being in that Royal Rumble match. Just assuming that the winner of this Rumble match can go for the championship. So I went on WWE's YouTube, WWE.com. So I went on WWE.com and I actually compiled a list of people that could possibly be in this match if they wanted to have 30 women be in this match. And I actually came up with quite a good list here, but I didn't actually get 30 on there. So I have Alicia Fox, Bayley, Becky, Carmella, Nikki Bella, Nia Jax, Charlotte, Dana Brooke, Emma, Lana, Maurice, Naomi, Natalia, Paige, asterisk, maybe not, Rosa Mendes, Summer, and Tamina. Those are all the ones on the main roster that they could possibly have in this match. Then we can go over to NXT and go off of their roster who we have. We have Asuka, Billie Kay, Dasha Fuentes, Ember Moon, Liv Morgan, Mandy Rose, Nikki Cross, and Peyton Royce. And then we can go to potential people that just got signed or people that have been in NXT. We know that Mickie James made an appearance. We know that Kimber Lee made an appearance. We know that Heidi Lovelace just got signed. We know that Evie got signed. We know that Blue Pants has been around for a while. Then there are people that aren't signed but have some affiliation with WWE or have been in WWE or like tried out for WWE. So we know that Shayna Baszler, who is friends with your favorite MMA, Four Horsewomen. She's part of the Four Horsewomen. And then Velvet Sky, who is with Bully Ray. She could possibly be coming in. And then the hottest girl that's not signed by WWE is probably Candice LeRae right now. So there's the list that we have here. Let's count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. We got 33 potential women that could come in and do this match. Now, we could say that there could be ones that could make surprises, like we could have a return of some past divas, like Victoria is a good one to bring back. Molly Holly would be a good one to bring. Trish Stratus, if she would want to do something like this. There's Lita, if she wanted to do something like this. So there are those like women that want to come back, that could possibly come back and compete in this match. I do say that we don't want to see a Divas Battle Royal style match. In a Divas Battle Royal, if you don't know, if you're not familiar, they do the middle rope elimination. So all you got to do is get them through the middle rope at least, and then they're gone. And I think, I could be wrong, I think the reason they do this is because they're not as big as the men. So it's a lot more difficult to actually throw them over the top rope. I could be wrong on that. That's just my thought on why they did the middle rope elimination, or they just didn't care about the women at the time. But I think that women's Rumble match is definitely something that they could be doing. They're pushing for the divas to now be women superstars, and I think this would just work perfectly. Like I said, we don't really need a rehash of how this is going to be. We don't want a rehash of those dumb ones that we've seen on Raw that are just really, really bad and boring and nobody really wants to see them. So hopefully they can come up with something that's going to be cool, but it's not going to be super long. It's not going to be boring. That's why I say you don't have a full 30 women in here, but you do have like a 15 or however you want to do it. You could start off the show with the women's one and end with the men's, or put the women's in the middle. I don't know how you would actually do this, but I think that a women's Rumble match is something that they really do need to think about doing. And they probably are, and they're probably going to do it. And the other rumor talking about women is that they're going to do a women's tournament, kind of like the Cruiserweight Classic was, kind of like the Dusty Rhodes Tag Classic, but they want to do it with women, and it's probably going to be like a special on the network. So if they can like somehow have some women debut in the Rumble and then do the women's tournament, I think it would be like a nice pairing. Like they could go, hey, we're doing the first ever women's Rumble because women are awesome. Plus, we're going to have a women's classic tournament, whatever you want to call it. The Mae Young Classic tournament, Moolah Classic. I don't know. Whatever they're going to call it, but they could go, we're going to have the Royal Rumble be in there, and we're going to have the tournament to crown the best woman in WWE. And it could be cool because what you could do for the Rumble is you could have like those NXT people, like I said. You could bring in the Asuka, Liv Morgan, Amber Moon. Like those would be cool to see because like Asuka could potentially like take her chance to go for either the Raw or the SmackDown title. So like whoever wins this goes for the Raw or SmackDown championship for the women's. So it would be cool. Like you can get champions in there and then she could continue and then maybe she could come up to the main roster that way. That might be something that you could do. But I think that to make it change with the times and go with their current spin on the women and how they're equal as the men, you need to actually do the women's Royal Rumble match. I really do think. I think that it would be dumb of them not to do it. And I think that at this current juncture in the WWE is what I would like to see. Now let's talk about who could possibly win this thing. And as much as I hate to say this, and I don't want to see it go this way, I would say that, like, I guess you could do this, right? The winner gets to pick what they want to fight for. And if you want to do it and keep it interesting and you want to have them a choice to go to a different brand, what we could do is we could have Charlotte or Sasha, because Charlotte and Sasha are fighting whoever isn't champion going into Rumble. You have one of them win. So I say Charlotte wins, and what she does, she says, you know what? I'm not going to go after Sasha. I'm going to go to SmackDown, and I'm going to go after that SmackDown Women's Championship. I think that's a great idea. That's a way you could do it, and that you could get Charlotte over there. You could kill the Sasha-Charlotte rivalry, have Charlotte go over there, challenge for the title, or, you know, they wouldn't really want to do that since Alexa Bliss is the heel, but you maybe could do something different. I don't know how they want to do it, but that's kind of the way that I see it. Or one of the other things that they could do with this is last year, if you remember, the WWE Championship was defended in the Royal Rumble match. So what you could do is you could have one of the titles defended, but it just doesn't really make any sense to defend the titles. I don't know how that would work because you wouldn't want to defend both the titles, but it would just make one seem lesser if you didn't defend it. So I don't think that's the way that they really want to go with that. I think that they would just have the winner gets to pick. And I think that's what they're going to do in the Rumble this year. They haven't really announced it, but I think it's going to be whoever wins gets to pick what they're going to do and which brand they're going to fight for. So that's what I think that they should do. I think there could be a lot of cool surprises. We know that we're going to be in Texas, so it could be somebody from Texas coming out. Like, I'm trying to think of who I can think. Wasn't Jacqueline from Texas? I think she was. So you could have Jacqueline be in it, Victoria, Mickie James. I said Trish, but I think that she's pregnant. Lita could be in it. Asuka could be in it. I mean, Karma could come in it. Remember, Awesome Kong could come in and have a showdown with Nia Jax. How cool would that be? You get a face-off of Nia Jax and Awesome Kong / Karma. I'd love that. That would be great. But there's a lot of exciting things that could happen. Even Stephanie could come in this thing and do and have an appearance. I don't know why she would, but it's just like a fun little thing that could actually happen. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think of a women's Rumble. I know I did that poll on Twitter, but I want to know Would you guys actually like to see that? Is that something that you would be interested in, or is it something that you don't think they should do? And let me know. Do you think it should be a 30, maybe a 20, maybe a 15, maybe a 10, maybe a 7? I don't know what you want to do on this, but I think you keep it under 20. 20 or less is a good number. That way you can still make it interesting. And don't do the Battle Royal style middle rope elimination. Please don't do that. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below on this Royal Rumble. Make sure you hit that like button. If you enjoy this, we'll be back tomorrow with some more WWE content. As always, TonyPizzaGuy 2.